following is a presentation of BFA Sports.
Cherokee High School in Marlton, it's expected to be packed tonight for their Chiefs as they host the Hammonton Blue Devils. It's Hammonton football here on BFA on an absolutely gorgeous night, 77 degrees here in Marlton. Both teams coming in at 1-0. Hello, everybody. I'm Chris Losey along with Vin Ebenu. There we are. That's us right there.
Squeezing in here.
Squeezing it in, right. So, as I said, they had a week 0 contest. Both teams did.
Yeah.
And as they come in with wins, we'll start on the Hammonton side. St. John Vianney is a powerful team, and they blew them out 35-0. They did a lot right in that game.
That's true. I mean, St. John Vianney coming from the short conference up in Monmouth County as well. They've been known as a team that you don't want to mess with, especially over the course of the season. They always have good teams each and every year. I know it's sort of been an up and down for St. John Vianney the last couple of years, but Hammonton really played well in that week 0 matchup, winning 35-0.
How's that, Ben? Is that better?
There we can see.
There we go.
I feel like everybody could see us better now.
Yeah, right.
But, Hammonton impressed, 35-0 shutting down St. John Vianney, and a good St. John Vianney team, so we'll see how that does for SJV in the short conference this year. And Hammonton's got a nice matchup tonight against Cherokee.
So let's start with the good, which is Kenny Smith, 5 touchdowns, 5, in their win over St. John Vianney. That game was at Ocean City. They're also going to get 2 weapons back, and we'll start with Josh Camargo, number 7. He is the Thunder, as Kenny Smith is the Lightning. What will that do by giving him that added push in the backfield?
Well, it'll take some of the pressure off of Kenny Smith. You figure that Cherokee watched the tape. They knew what he did against St. John Vianney. They knew the kind of player he was coming into the season. So you don't, to allow that double pressure, that double team there on Kenny Smith, you're going to want to open things up. And it's going to be on Kenny Smith and the offensive line to open up some extra holes because Cherokee's going after Kenny Smith.
Now, Cherokee, no slouch by any stretch. They come in also 1-0. They beat Winslow in a kind of an ugly contest, but Cherokee owned it, and it's a good possibility that for Cherokee to win, they will own the line of scrimmage. They are big on both sides of the ball.
And that's important, especially in a game like this, in a game against Hammonton. You got to be big and physical up front. And see which team comes out on top with all that, with the run game and coming out on front, the offensive line and the defensive line, especially down inside the red zone. It's going to be who could be the most physical in getting those plays down there. It could be who's the most physical in getting those first downs on 3rd and shorts.
That's our setup. It's Hammonton and Cherokee. It's on BFA, and the kickoff is coming up next.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for 2, price for 1. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I be like, sheesh.
Remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
The marching band of Cherokee High School with the rendition of our national anthem tonight. We're getting ready for kickoff. Again, the 1-0 Chiefs hosting the 1-0 Blue Devils of Hammonton. Tonight's game is brought to you by Pizza Hut. Score big deals on stuffed crust pizzas, tasty wings, breadsticks, and more with fast delivery all through the Pizza Hut app at pizzahut.com. Special thanks to Ed Herron and the family for their South Jersey Pizza Hut team support of Hammonton football. By DiDonato Family Fun Center since 1952. The DiDonato Family Fun Center has been the place to take your team for bowling, food, drinks, and now even ice cream. And don't forget, we host the Jim Razzo Show every Wednesday live at 7 o'clock. And by Asphalt Paving Systems, the road to victory is a smooth one, thanks to Bob Capaferri and family at Asphalt Paving Systems. Hammonton will receive as Cherokee won the toss, Vin, and as usual, they defer. Most teams now in high school, when they win the toss, they defer. But especially in this case, I think for Coach Brian Glatz, he wants to get his defense on the field first.
You want to make an impression first off. You want to get that first drive out of the way and show what you got against the other team. For Hammonton, it's about putting some points on the board first and getting out on top, continuing some of the momentum that they built against St. John Vianney and the Lancers last week. And for Cherokee, it's you want to put a nice defensive stand out there first. Maybe it's a 3-and-out, but I mean you want to impress and shut down highly octane Hammonton O.
We'll see what kind of scouting Cherokee did as Padgett gets ready to kick it, and absolutely he's going to keep it away from Kenny Smith, and it's going to be down to the 42-yard line. It went right off of Cooper Delgazzo, but Hammonton's able to get it, and they got good field position for quarterback Drew Craig. Good numbers, but didn't need them. 35-0 against St. John Vianney, and they start at the 41 officially. Again,
that was a good recovery on the kickoff.
Sorry, beautiful day for football. Go ahead.
Absolutely. No, I mean, that could have been disastrous for Hammonton off the opening kick, and they got right on top of it. And credit to Cooper Delgazzo there as well. Now it's time for Hammonton offense to shine.
Craig, Kenny Smith's first touch to the outside. Still going. It's a Hammonton first down, and he gets down to the Cherokee 45-yard line. Kenny Smith for 14.
Quick feet there, pushing the legs. That's what he did so well last week, and you're going to see that again today. Ton of speed by Kenny Smith. He just found hole after hole, and credit to the Hammonton offensive line there for creating some more holes and just lead blocking out in front of Kenny Smith, and a fresh set of downs for Hammonton.
Jim Razzo said that he was hopefully going to make statements early, and he certainly did with that play. Kenny Smith, the 14-yard run. Jaden Smith at the bottom of the screen. And why not? Kenny again. This time he only gets a yard.
Swallowed him up there. Nice by the Cherokee defense. Talked about that at the beginning of the broadcast. It's going to be on Cherokee's front seven there to stop Kenny Smith and just drive into the A-gap there and prevent anything from up the middle and force Kenny Smith to go outside and try to get something up the field, and then it really leaves it up to the secondary from there.
John Phillips on the stop after a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down and 9. They're at the 44. Just underway tonight from Cherokee. Chris Losey, Vin Ebenu, and the BFA Sports crew here tonight for Hammonton Blue Devil football. It's a 2nd down and 9.
It's a big play for Cherokee's defense here. They got to make some sort of stop, prevent a 3rd and short.
And Craig to throw it. And he's got a receiver, but they're going to say it's trapped, and much to the dismay of Justin Dowdy. I don't know if they're going to talk about it or not. They may talk about it, but then we have a flag. So they're going to rule it's incomplete. Now we'll check the flag. Rick Takachi is tonight's official.
I mean, Drew Craig was trying to thread a needle there, Chris, and I do believe that hit the ground and bounced. Seems to be a penalty on Hammonton. And it's a holding call, so that'll bring him back. So that insult to injury there.
Yeah.
The incomplete pass and a penalty to boot. It doesn't seem to bother Hammonton's offense, so I mean they clearly have a couple backs, including Kenny Smith, that can make up for that. And then a quarterback in Drew Craig, who's clearly shown some good arm strength and being able to fire one upfield. So this is a big play for the Hammonton offense early in the game.
You're seeing also a sign of the new rule change where all the fouls now behind the line of scrimmage will go to the previous spot. So just like the big boys, it's the NFL. It's 2nd down and 20. Craig again, off Dowdy and incomplete.
That was a dangerous pass. Evan Breifogel nearly came away with the interception on that. Watch again on the replay here. Craig fired just a little bit high, tipped up into the air by Justin Dowdy, and Evan Breifogel nearly comes away with a pick. It's a dangerous pass there by the Hammonton quarterback.
So 3rd down and long now coming up.
I mean, this is going to be a give to Kenny Smith, I believe, to try to eat up some yards here. At the very least, get him in a better position to put a punt inside the 10, but hoping for a first down.
They need the 35 of Cherokee, and it's a draw, and Kenny Smith is going to get about 10 of it back, maybe 11, and he'll bring up 4th down, and we'll see what Jim Razzo wants to do. It's at the 43, so it's 4th and 8. Looks like he's going to go for it.
Yeah, tempted to go for it. Kenny Smith ate up a good amount of yards on that play.
He got
11 ways to go on 4th down.
Made it manageable.
I'm curious to see is if Drew Craig ends up with a hard count here to try and draw Cherokee and move up a little bit. Make it easier for Kenny Smith on a draw on 4th and short.
Look at this, got a tight formation. Craig to throw it on 4th down. And it's caught. That's Jaden Smith, and that's good enough for a Hammonton first down to the 30.
Nice play by Jaden Smith, not just getting to the line, but getting beyond the line to make the catch outside the 30 and a fresh set of downs. We do got a flag on the play, though. Check it out on the replay. Nice pass by Drew Craig. Great by the offensive line, giving Craig plenty of time. And a nice catch.
It's an illegal
able to hold on to it.
It's a legal formation against Hammonton. So if we can rack that up again, David, maybe we can see it's 5 in the backfield.
5-yard penalty will
with the punt, with the penalty, see if they punt.
No, we don't have it. But nice catch by Jaden Smith, but it's going to come back, and now the 4th and 9 is now going to be wound up being a 4th and 14.
And now they'll go out and punt. Tommy Pajic back to receive for Cherokee. That's a disappointing end to that drive for Hammonton that started out with a little bit of spark from Kenny Smith, but 2 big penalties on that drive for Hammonton shut it down, and credit to Cherokee's defense.
By the way, Craig is also the punter. A low snap. Craig just got it away. This one won't be returned. And the sideline, they'll mark it at the 23. So Cherokee, their first offensive set with 8:54 to go here in the first.
And an opportunity. Listen, they won the toss. They wanted Hammonton to have the ball, and their defense shut them down. And Hammonton, committing a couple penalties, that was big there. Now Cherokee, an opportunity to answer here and put some points on the board and take a lead over a Hammonton team who came in here with some momentum again with that 35-0 victory last week, putting up a goose egg. And see if the Hammonton defense can do the same against a tough Cherokee team.
Another year for Ryan Bender. He's now a senior at the controls for the Chiefs. And he's going to throw it right off the bat. Leo Bluestein gets to the 30. That's a gain of about 7.
Nice run by Bluestein. Joey Gillen with the stop there off the edge. Bluestein's the kind of runner that is probably going to get a lot of those passes in the flat. Going to get a lot of carries up the middle. He's a big back, and somebody Cherokee's going to rely on a little bit tonight.
Second down and a long 3. Luke Brown is in motion. Pender keeps it and gets popped. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down to the 31-yard line.
Big hit by Andrew Wayner there, and among others, coming off the linebacker spot, middle linebacker for Hammonton with a nice hit there to stop him.
Wayner, one of the captains of this Hammonton team. End of run. As soon as Bender reached Wayner, end of run. 3rd down and a long yard at the 31-yard line.
And this is just what Hammonton needed here after a disappointing opening drive for their offense. To be able to have a 3-and-out on Cherokee would be big for that man right there.
think Jim Razzo's still hot about a legal formation call and would have been a completion and a conversion and a 4th down on the last trip.
Hammonton looking to blitz here.
The Jets sweep. It's Luke Brown to the 42. First down, Cherokee.
It's a big play there. Luke Brown, the speed, and just finding a hole there. And credit to the Cherokee line. You'll see it again here. Nicely developed Jets sweep there, and Brown just takes it and runs with it. Nearly was able to get a little bit more. Credit to the Hammonton defense there. A couple Blue Devil defenders there stopped him. Otherwise, he may have been gone.
And we'll be able to see the monitor better when the sun sets.
That's also a good point.
Under 7 to play, first quarter, no score tonight here in Marlton. How about this? Winds up being 2 wide receivers at the bottom. And instead, they hand off up the middle, and the first touch from Murad Campfield. And he gets about 5 to the 46-yard line.
It's a good fake there as well, and then Campfield just lowers his shoulders and barrels through the A-gap there for a nice gain.
If you get a chance to look at the offensive line for Cherokee, 71 is Dylan Grau. He is a big boy. At 6'4", 325. Here's Bender going the far side. Campfield again. He is close to a Cherokee first down. He's going to be short by about a yard. That'll bring up a 3rd down. Nice coverage for Hammonton, Todd Black.
Ethan Peterson in on that hit as well. And the Hammonton defenders, their linebackers looking sharp so far tonight. Almost like ball hawks there. Magnetized to the run game by Cherokee so far in the early going. See how that affects Cherokee's game plan moving forward. Been a lot of runs so far, not too much out of the passing game for Cherokee here to start.
Halfway through the first quarter here tonight, no score. Hammonton had the ball for about 4.5 minutes, and now it's Cherokee's turn. They got a 3rd down and 1 just on the Hammonton side of midfield.
See if they give it to Campfield here. Still getting the signal from the sideline. A little bit of confusion on the call. Now we'll get a Cherokee timeout so that they can talk things over. Clearly some confusion on the line there, Chris, with who was going to be going where, what play they wanted to run, and just all sorts of miscommunication, which could have been bad for a 3rd and short play.
5:22 to go. Tonight's game is brought to you by Red Oak Builders. Red Oak Builders is a family-owned construction and development firm headquartered in Philadelphia. From historic restorations to multifamily commercial projects throughout the region, the Red Oak team takes great pride in building award-winning projects in the communities they serve. By D'Amico Travel, the D'Amico Travel team puts all the work into making your next dream vacation a breeze. Their championship team are MVPs in planning at Disney, sandals, cruises, and more. Vacation isn't supposed to be a workout, Vin.
No.
So kick back and call the D'Amico Travel team at 856-767-4399. And by Ricky Moriello Remax of Remax Community Real Estate, ready to dial up the right game plan to sell your home or find the home of your dreams in South Jersey. Following the timeout, 3rd down in the yard for the Chiefs in a full backfield with Bender under center. It's going to be the keeper, and Bender's going to get a first down.
Smart play right there. They had a little bit of a different look. Maybe that's what they were going for originally, but it's a big first down for Cherokee to pick up there. Would they have gone for it on 4th and short? I believe they would have, but it certainly makes things easier for Cherokee on that quarterback keep. And now in the Hammonton territory here. Let's see how Hammonton's D responds. I'm able to keep them in their own territory.
So Bender on the keeper gets the Chiefs the first down. They're at the Hammonton 48. Campfield, Bender's left. Bender keeps left side, no chance. Sealed down, that's Andrew Wayner again. That's going to be about a loss of a half a yard. Good pursuit by the captain, Wayner.
And he's going to be a big factor. He's one of the leaders of this Hammonton defense, and he's been a big factor so far in this game in stopping Cherokee's offense to this point. He's going to have to captain the defense, keep Cherokee out of the end zone here, and really make a stop. If they start getting towards that 30-yard line, Cherokee's going to get into scoring range there. And it's going to be tough for Hammonton to stop this Cherokee offense on the move.
Officially no gain, 2nd down and 10. It's Trent Osborne. Number 10, he's at the bottom of the screen. Campfield gets away from one, but not two. Good pursuit again by that Hammonton defense. Kenny Smith in there, as well as others.
Justin
Peterson.
Dowdy on pursuit as well. I mean, you check it out here on the replay. Cherokee thought they were able to get something upfield, and it was nearly stopped for a loss there. So credit to the Hammonton defense, and then Campfield for just running upfield, trying to get something out of nothing, and able to get a couple yards. And that'll be 3rd and long for Cherokee.
Blows the play up, doesn't it? That penetration. Look out for Joey Gillen, 245. He's all over the field. Another one of these captains of this team. 3rd down, 8 at the 48.
It's another big 3rd down for Cherokee here. They have to call timeout in the last one. Looks like they're lining up to pass here. Wouldn't be surprised if they dump it off to Campfield in a read option. And Hammonton's going to call time here. They don't like the look.
Each team calls the timeout here in the first quarter. 4:36. No score. We'll be back.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for two, price for one. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I be like, sunset.
So each team has burned a timeout. That's a Hammonton timeout on defense, and we'll come back with a 3rd down and 8. 4:37 to go here in the first quarter. Chris Losey, Vin Ebenu, the BFA Sports crew, we're all here. 3 cameras tonight.
There we go. Picture perfect night too. It's sunny, it's warm, a little breeze.
So you want to?
Good football weather.
I do this all the time. What do we got?
Going to the app.
76 degrees.
Big 3rd down here for Cherokee.
Bender rolling out, and he threw it underneath. He had a guy.
You know, you got to credit Christian Medina there coming into the backfield and putting some pressure on Ryan Bender there coming out of the pocket there. That forced him to release the throw earlier than he wanted to and led to an incomplete pass. So good timeout for Hammonton, and it leads to a stop, a big stop on 3rd down, and now Hammonton will get the ball back, Chris.
I wonder if that was Pagic, that was the receiver on the far side. I mean, he is a highly recruited place kicker. The kicking game is in good hands here in Cherokee with him.
Kenny Smith looking to run one back here.
Are you going to call him Kenny the Jet?
I mean, it worked for the Kenny Smith of the NBA.
It's a high snap, almost. Great kick by Pagic, and then Smith lets it go, and that's not a wise decision. It's down all the way down to the 3-yard line. That's a 48-yard punt. Nothing on the return, and Hammonton has to start deep in their own territory as Austin Leonard came in and covered on special teams for Cherokee.
Yeah, Kenny Smith made the poison call there. He probably should have went after and tried to get something there. Now Hammonton's got to start where no offense wants to start, inside their 5-yard line. They got some work to do to chew up some yards to get themselves in a comfortable spot here. I guess the ball goes right to Kenny Smith to just try and get out of there and give Drew Craig some room.
One would think DeAndre Clements, number 10, also back. Did not play last week. It's Kenny, left side. That'll get him a little room. He'll get close to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of about 6. Wrapped up on the play by Evan Breifogel.
It's a good stop coming out of his cornerback position there, just all in. Cherokee's defense swarming to the ball there, trying to keep Hammonton inside the 5-yard line. And get the ball back in a favorable spot here, unless they could force them back a few yards and get a safety. But Hammonton's got some work to do here to get out of a deep position.
Good start on 1st down, 6 yards for Kenny Smith. Drew Craig, transfer from Williamstown. Kenny Smith again. Patience, cuts it up the middle, and Kenny Smith is off. Down the near sideline, Kenny Smith, they're going to catch him at the 38-yard line. A big run, and the tackle by Darwin Walker. I don't know if the Hammonton sideline wants a horse collar. Didn't appear here, though.
That was a nice run by Kenny Smith. What a beautiful hole opened up by the Hammonton offensive line, and he thought Kenny Smith was gone, but credit to Darwin Walker for catching up with him. I don't think that was a horse collar. Grabbed him underneath the shoulder pads. Still a nice speed to catch up to Kenny Smith. Still, big first down for Hammonton here. Now they're in Cherokee territory.
54 yards on the Kenny Smith run. That'll flip the field in a hurry. Camargo is in motion. They flip it around. It's Josh, far side, his first touch of the game. And Camargo, the thunder to the lightning of Kenny Smith. And he gets about 8.
Leo Bluestein on the stop there. Nice play designed by Hammonton on the jet sweep there. Getting a few yards on a big first down. It was good by Cherokee there. They smelt what was cooking in the kitchen there. And it was Leo Bluestein coming up with the stop, Chris.
Gain of close to 9. Second down and a long yard for the Devils. They are at the 27. Kenny Smith, and that's a first down to the 24.
Austin Leonard on the stop for Cherokee there, but not until after the first down. So Hammonton's got a good offensive game plan going here, or at least trying to get it down the field. Heavy with the run so far. And when he needs to, Drew Craig able to fire one down the far side of the field there and get something cooking. So now this is Hammonton's first threat on their second drive of the game. Looks like Craig's still trying to get the call from the sideline there. Play clock running down.
2:20. Pitch. Kenny Smith breaks one tackle. Down to the 24.
I got a couple yards there, but credit to the Cherokee defense swarming into Kenny Smith there.
Brought down by number 4, Lewis Rhodes.
Broke the initial penetration. Turned, they say, the negative into the positive.
Well, there you go. Rather get a couple yards than negative.
He's up to 74 yards already, and it's second down and 9.
Curious to see if Hammonton starts spreading the ball out a little bit more, because you know Cherokee's going to keep keying in on Kenny Smith throughout the course of the game. Yeah, this is a big second down here.
There are the trenches. And thus far, Hammonton's getting the better of it. Camargo on a misdirection. Untouched to the 10. Inside the Cherokee 10. He's down to the 8.
Oh, he's fired up, Camargo. That's a big run on second down to get things inside the red zone. You check it out here on the instant replay. It's a nice handoff there. And again, Hammonton offensive line on this drive alone opening up some big holes for Camargo and Kenny Smith. Now Hammonton knocking on the door.
He wasn't touched for 10 yards, and the first guy that touched him was Joey Gillen, and he plays with him. First and goal, Hammonton. They're at the 8 as we are at a minute here in the first quarter. Here's Craig. Kenny Smith to the 5.
And up to Kenny Smith.
Got about
a good run,
3.
though, on first down, first and goal, getting Kenny Smith up a little bit. Give yourself a little bit more room. I think Hammonton should try something to the outside here, whether it's Smith or Camargo, or even a jet sweep. Just go something on the outside. You can't keep going up the middle as much here, because Cherokee's going to smell that out and they're going to stuff the box.
They do have to get this play off. 26 seconds left in the quarter. Second and goal. Why not? Here's Smith again. Getting closer. They wrap him up at about the 3.
Yeah, ran into a brick wall there. Cherokee defenders just knocked Kenny Smith down. That may be the final play of the first quarter. Hammonton's driving, though. They're running the ball. Camargo and especially Kenny Smith this quarter. Hammonton Blue Devils knocking on the door. Looking to score first here in the first.
And that will do it for the first quarter.
Pizza Hut's stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for two, price for one. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I be like, shoot.
Start of the second quarter, here we go at William Fultz Stadium, home of the Cherokee Chiefs. Hammonton will have a 3rd and goal at the 3-yard line. And we want to tell you that tonight's game here on BFA Sports and Hammonton Football is brought to you by... Here it comes. Here it comes. Okay, we're saying no. Vertical Raise. Elevate your program's fundraising this season with Vertical Raise. Vertical Raise is the premier online fundraising platform for organizations of all sizes. Raise more money in less time with a local fundraising coach who works with you every step of the way to customize the ideal fundraiser for your program. Score for your team now by visiting verticalraise.com. And by Life Brokerage. Calling the Life Brokerage team is the only call to make when you need to design a play to take care of your family now and in the future. Life insurance, estate planning, wealth building are just a few of the big decisions that the Life Brokerage team can coach you through in designing a playbook for your family's future. It's a 3rd and 3 as we start the second quarter.
I think everybody on the field knows who's getting the ball here, Chris. It's number 3 for Hammonton.
He's behind Craig, and it's a touchdown for Hammonton. Oh, Kenny Smith on that drive.
Outstanding execution by the Hammonton offense, and Kenny Smith going up it through that 8-gap. Hammonton offensive line outstanding on this drive, and Kenny Smith as well. What a drive down the field, and what a way to open up the second quarter here. Kenny Smith closing in on 100 yards rushing just in this game. We'll check it out on the instant replay here. Everybody knew it was Kenny Smith getting the ball up the gut, the little fake to the left, and then crashed right through and into the end zone for 6. Hammonton up first. Now it's 7 on the extra point.
Extra point good by Kovacs. 7-0 Hammonton here on BFA.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for two, price for one. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I be like, shoot.
A drive that started all the way back at the 4. So Hammonton goes 96 yards, 7 plays, but one of them was a pretty big one, a 54-yard run by Kenny Smith, and they lead 7-0. And you saw Jim Razzo going over to the officials. He's not happy about something. See if we can find out at halftime, but I don't know if he's still hot about the legal formation or he wanted a late hit out of bounds on Kenny Smith. So who knows?
Yeah, impressive drive. I mean, we said that's not where Hammonton wants to start. I mean, Kenny Smith making the poison call, and then the Hammonton's offense driving down the field. Short plays, and for the most part, a couple big ones, including to Kenny Smith. Let's see if Cherokee can respond here, and Hammonton can keep him off the board.
Drew Craig does everything.
Nice spiral.
Short kick, bobbled, still bobbled, and down. And that was Paul Lieb, senior wideout, having all kinds of problems with it. So Cherokee has to start back at their 21-yard line. By the way, Josh Friedman of the Courier-Post is here with us.
Nice.
Texted me, 99 yards for Kenny Smith.
Stay tuned, folks. Next Hammonton drive.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I don't know, but I think he's going to rush for over 100 yards tonight. But, you know, we'll see, right?
It could happen, Chris.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, plenty of game left.
Ryan Bender and the Chiefs out for possession number 2 with Hammonton up 7-0. Glad you're with us tonight on BFA Sports. Tomorrow night we've got Williamstown Braves football at Kingsway. Kickoff at 6 o'clock. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend with high school football tonight and tomorrow night here on BFA. And a little confusion there. Bender wasn't sure if Campfield was going to take it and vice versa. And instead it's going to be a big gainer on the far sideline. for Austin Leonard.
Nice hit by Ethan Peterson up the sideline, catching up to him there. That's the kind of play you want if you're Cherokee here, trying to answer back down 7-0. A little confusion, but they turned it into something to Cherokee. And got themselves a nice gain and a new set of downs here. It's on Hammonton to answer back here and just kind of lay a goose egg here on this drive. Cherokee, they got to score here to stay in this, because if they let Hammonton get up by too much, it's going to be a difficult task trying to climb back. This is a big drive for Cherokee.
Leonard for 21. And a first down. Now he is in motion, used as a decoy. Campfield with the carry. Not much on first down.
And credit to the Hammonton defensive line there. That's a big stop, just coming up, stuffing the box there. That defensive line, those linebackers, Cameron Broadno, the defensive end for Hammonton, with the key guys in on that stop. So Hammonton's defense sniffing out the run plays here. Let's see if Cherokee goes back to the air.
Yeah, it was a little waggle, too. Nice design play. Get him out of there back in the 21-yard line. Up at the 42, second down, 10. Bender handing off to Campfield. No sale. I'll tell you, they are fired up. And when you get penetration that way, how about Devon Coulter, a defensive end who chased Campfield all the way to the sideline?
I'll tell you what, when you're pursuing a lead, things are a little bit more tense. But when you have a lead in high school football, you're a bit fired up, especially coming off a scoring drive and Hammonton's defense saying, all right, you guys scored, we're going to stop them here. And, and they've done that so far. And this is a big third down for Cherokee in their own territory here. Hammonton trying to force a punt.
I know where you're going with that. That's the proverbial shutdown inning in baseball, right?
Yeah.
After you score. Third down, long. Bender to put it up. In trouble, just gets it away, and it's incomplete. Underneath Campfield, and Hammonton gets another stop, and there's the flag. And Joey Gillen is in the middle of it again. He was able to draw the, I'm going to say it's an unsportsmanlike, and it's going to go against Campfield. We have this again. Watch this. If they let it run, nothing, and there it is right there.
There's the push.
Joey's in the middle of everything.
That could be a key penalty here.
So the down is going to count, and it's going to put the ball all the way back at the 27-yard line, and fourth down and a long way, and a long punt coming from Padgett.
Yeah, prior to that, the Hammonton defense coming up big there in a three and out, coming off the scoring drive. And I'll tell you, Chris, every defensive coordinator and every coach as well, they want that goose egg. Certainly for the game, which Hammonton put up against St. John Vianney last week, but also on an ensuing drive. You score, you want to shut the other offense down, and Hammonton did just that to Cherokee. And now, though, Kenny Smith going out to his own 30 here. He's in a favorable position to have a nice run back.
So it'll be a punt. Padgett, second one. The first one, he boomed it, and Cherokee got there and downed it at the 4-yard line. This one should be returned. And I want to point your attention. Do you see that official right there, Vin? See how he's chopping? That is the play clock, and Cherokee is not going to get it off, and there's the delay of game.
Yeah, insult to injury for Cherokee. Back-to-back penalties here to push him back a little bit, and that's not what you want to do against a high-octane offense in Hammonton.
So 5 more. Padgett now standing in his own 5-yard line. If it was any later, we would say the shadows of his own goalpost, but they're there. There they go.
I mean, you see Kenny Smith he's looking right into the sun.
Again, Hammonton almost gets the Padgett punt, and smartly away from Kenny Smith, out of bounds. It'll be marked at the 48. 25-yard punt, nothing on the return, and Hammonton with a 7-0 lead back on offense after this.
Pizza Hut's stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good, topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for two, price for one. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
First down, this is Clemens. Not much.
That's a nice.
He's going to lose a yard on his first touch of the game.
Good job by Cherokee's defense coming up and meeting him there right at the line. Again, you don't want to get too far down if you're Cherokee. This is a big drive again for them. Cherokee's defense has to make a stop here. And for Hammonton, I mean, this is a big opportunity for them to get really something cooking. They have favorable field position here. See if they get it back to Kenny Smith. I mean, there's so many things that they could do here, and this is an exciting time if you're Hammonton here to just kind of run down the field and show just how good of an offense you are.
Take notice if you see Cherokee on defense, Finn, and see if they've moved up, maybe even 9 up in the box. Like it appears like they have right now.
Yeah, they're stacking the box here. 8 in.
Craig to throw it on second down. Too far for Camargo, incomplete. He had him. And a third down and 12 coming up.
That was good coverage by the Cherokee secondary as well. They saw the ball coming out of the backfield there, and they went up to meet him. I mean, for the most part, Hammonton has had most of the running game, and you know, we mentioned it on the last drive. Kenny Smith knocking on the door of 100 yards rushing. I mean, Cherokee's defense has been looking good in the secondary. Haven't gotten a whole lot of action. It's really the key matchup, Kenny Smith versus that front 7 for Cherokee.
I think they're realizing just how special he is.
You know, they stacked the box. They had 8 men in the box on that last play, and they're closing in here.
Third and 12. Craig dancing around far side, and he had Kenny Smith. Too far, incomplete.
That was a nice play design, just out of the reach of Kenny Smith there. He put his hand up. I thought he was going to pull an Odell Beckham there, Chris. Just kind of reach back and grab it. Check it out here. This is a nice play. I mean, in trouble in the pocket was Drew Craig, and then he just fired one downfield just out of the reach of Kenny Smith there. I mean, if he had caught that, that would have been 6. A nice play nonetheless. See if they go back to that at some point, but
still on 99 yards. And Craig to punt. Again, one that's not going to be returned as it's out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 27-yard line, so that is only a 23-yard punt. Cherokee back on offense, and they did what you said that Hammonton did. They pitched a 3 and out, and they got the ball back.
And it was important. I mean, in a game like this, you know, when scoreless in the first quarter, you got to keep it close. I mean, Hammonton's got that kind of offense that could really run away with things, and if you're Cherokee, you've got to come up with defensive stops and get yourself back in the game. And again, it's going to be one of those back and forth kind of battles. At least it has been in the early going here.
So take a look.
Big drive for Hamilton.
Sorry, but take a look at the Cherokee offensive line. I showed you number 71, Dylan Grau. 74 on the left side. He's no small guy either. I'll talk about him in a second. First down, Bender hands off, and Canfield is swallowed up. No gain. Wayner's in there.
I tell you, Hamilton's doing a nice job in stopping the run so far today. You know, and not too much through the air for Cherokee.
They're contending with an awful lot of size on that line. 74 is Chris Terrian. You may know that name from another sport because his father was the defenseman for the Flyers. And he's a big boy on the left side as well. And I know Chris is going to be watching this later on. Bender gets out of a jam, airs it out. What a catch down at the 30-yard line. Unbelievable by Trent Osborne, and if he kept his feet, he would have found the end zone.
Oh, the turf monster ate him up there, Chris. I mean, he was gone. Oh, what a play by Cherokee. A nice pass by Bender, finding the open man downfield. Had all day to throw and fired a spiral down the field. And look, he tipped it into his own hand, Trent Osborne.
One-handed grab for 46. Bender to Osborne. It gets the Chiefs in business. They are at the 27. Swinging out to the far side.
Hand off to
That is
Brown.
That is Brown.
You know, I like that play call, that jet sweep to Luke Brown. It worked earlier in the game for them. And, you know, following a 46-yard pass, you got to change things up. You can't just go back to the air again. And, you know, it got him a few yards, didn't get them everything that they were going for, but that's a nice play on first down.
Good for 6, 2nd down and 4. They mark it at the 21. Bender, Campfield, and he's grabbed right at the line of scrimmage. And that is how you do it when you stop the run. And what they're doing on the defensive side, Anthony Leahovich.
That was a nice play by the Hammonton defensive tackle, just getting in there, leading the charge for that Hammonton defense and making a stop.
So Leahovich stops Campfield for no gain, 3rd down and 4.
Oh, hard count.
But they say that they didn't cross the neutral zone, so onward we go.
Could be a different kind of count here. Maybe they go back to the hard count. Ryan Bender getting the new set of signals. Trying to draw Hammonton offside to get that first down.
Campfield fights his way, and he is going to be short.
Yeah,
I mean, the Hammonton read that like a book. They had the feeling that the run was coming.
So we got a poor angle because we're at the midfield mark, and we're looking, looks like 4th and 1 as we approach 6 minutes. They're definitely short, man. So 4th down and a yard.
Oh, Hammonton's
at the
crashing
18.
the box here. They got everybody bringing the house.
The old wishbone.
Let's see if Bender does the hard count again.
He does. No movement at all. It's going to be close.
I think he may be short. Maybe by a little bit, but I think he's short.
Well, you look for the movement, especially at the vantage point we have. Now we have to wait to see where they spot it.
I mean, they may have to bring out the chains on this.
I think there's Takachi, and he's bringing out the chains.
Official timeout.
It was close. It was a nice play. I mean, that's what you want to do there, quarterback keep on a 4th and 1. But, I mean, Hammonton just crashed into that box, ran right up the gap there. They made a stop, and I think it was just before the line there.
All right, so I'm going to say they're short. What are you going to say?
I think it's short. Maybe by inches, but they're short. This could be everything here.
Momentum in the first half, very important. And
okay,
first down Cherokee by that much.
Yeah. Nicely done by the Cherokee offensive line as well. I mean, Hammonton defensive line did a nice job in making the stop, but it was obviously Cherokee's offensive line that helped make the push there for Bender.
See, they didn't need much, but Bender got stood up. But the progress they gave him to the 17, and it's a first down for the Chiefs. Under 6 minutes to go here in the first half.
And all you need there is just enough to get the first down.
7-0 Hammonton, but the Chiefs knocking on the door. The senior quarterback, Bender, faking the sweep to Brown, chased out, and throws it away.
That's a smart play by Bender there. He felt the pressure. Nowhere to throw. Just get that away. Play for second down.
We get a shot, David, of Jim Razzo. I mean, he is beside himself on that sideline for Hammonton. He's all the way almost out to the numbers. He felt that there was a hold that they didn't get. The coaching staff is behind us, and you heard him say he hooked him, so I guess they wanted a hold. Second down, clock stop, 5:22 to go, second quarter. Still 7-0 lead for Hammonton.
Defenses have come up big so far.
Campfield got a couple and then brought backwards. Ethan Peterson's having quite a night, that young man, and there's Joey Gillen in there.
You know, the Hammonton defensive line again, stopping anything coming or trying to come through the A gap there.
That was Jim.
He's got to be happy with that stop there. I mean, Cherokee keeps trying to run it up the middle here. What I'd like to see Cherokee's offense do, if they want to try to get in here, they're going to have to go to the air. Hammonton has shut down the Cherokee run game in this second quarter.
3rd down 7. This portion of the broadcast brought to you by D'Amico Travel. And then here's Bender traveling to the far side. Throws out of room. Incomplete to Osborne.
Just couldn't get his feet inside. It was an impressive catch, though. But his feet were on the other side of the line there.
Canada, he's good.
Would have gotten the first down.
Well, it's a good catch in Canada.
Yeah.
Huh? With a football field the size of like a farm. So 4th down and 7.
Could have worked out in arena football. You got no sidelines there.
They'll bring Pagic in. Again, he is solid.
Number 11, Tommy Pagic.
And this is big for Cherokee. They got to make this.
This looks like this will be from 32 yards out. Hammonton got a blocked field goal in their opening win against St. John Vianney, and it was Joey Gillen that got it. So with the stop for the Hammonton defense, and Pagic drills it. 7-3, 4.5 to go here in the first quarter. Back with a kickoff here on BFA.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for 2, price for 1. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I be like, shoes, sunset.
Yeah, graphics. That is Frank Fusatola, special teams coach extraordinaire for this Hammonton team. Of course, we would be remiss if we didn't mention a quarter of a century at Williamstown High School as a head coach and back-to-back state championships.
There you go.
And there he is.
It's an impressive resume.
Ask him why he wore black today, so they could see me. That'll work. 7-3, 32-yard field goal by Tommy Pagic.
Got ourselves a game here, Chris. You know, seen a lot of great defense, both sides of the ball, both defensive lines coming up with some big stops. I mean, hello, friends. We saw Hammonton with that long drive.
Your Jim Nance, is that what you did? You really? Now this makes me look terrible. Can we put this back?
I feel like I look okay though.
You do. Can we push this camera back to like say, Medford maybe? My goodness.
Push it back. Push it back.
Exactly. I doubt Kenny Smith is going to see this kick, and just as I say that,
oh, he muffed it.
It is muffed by Isaiah Moore, and he is brought back, but they'll mark his progress at the 18-yard line. Tonight's game is brought to you by... Here it comes, Vin.
Tell us, Chris.
Here it comes.
People are dying to know.
Here it comes. Any minute now.
On the edge of my seat here, Chris.
Yep. Tonight's game is brought to you by... All right. Pizza Hut. Score big deals on stuffed crust pizzas, tasty wings, breadsticks, and more. There we go. With fast delivery all through the Pizza Hut app at pizzahut.com, because nobody out-pizzas the Hut.
They got good pizza.
Dynamite drop in. 1st and 10. Here's your Bob Euchre at the 18-yard line. Drew Craig. The Jet. If it's a yard, he's over 100 for the day, and they're going to mark him at the 19th, so that's a yard.
There we go.
100 yards for Kenny Smith tonight at the 4:10 mark of the second quarter.
He's had quite a first half so far for Hammonton, and it's 7-3. I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to Cherokee's defense. Despite Kenny Smith now at 100 yards and the rest of the Hammonton offense rolling, the Cherokee's defense has come up with some big stops. Just that one touchdown on that 94-yard drive. But, I mean, Cherokee's defense locked in here, and it's really up to Hammonton to try and push the pedal.
More than half of those yards came on one run. It was the 54-yard run.
That'll do it.
2nd down and 9. That's Camargo in motion. Craig, a little misdirection, bringing Camargo back. It worked last time. It doesn't work this time. Just too much Cherokee. Austin Leonard leading the charge, along with Evan Breifogel, and will bring up a 3rd down and long after the loss.
Let's see what Hammonton tries to do here on a big 3rd down and long. I think they got to go back to the air here. I mean, giving it to Kenny Smith sure it could work out, especially if he gets something to the outside. But, I mean, this is going to be on Drew Craig to find something, get creative here with this Hammonton offense and get that first down through the air. And I think Cherokee's defense is starting to sniff that out. They got their secondary pretty well spread out.
Jaden Smith was the target on the 4th down conversion that was called back for a penalty. He is at the top of the screen, and Craig rolling his way. It's Camargo instead, and off his hands, incomplete.
Oh, just missed. That certainly would have been a first down if you were able to haul it in, because he was inbounds when it went off his hands. That's a disappointing end to the drive for Hammonton, but you got to give credit again to Cherokee's defense there. Going to the air was Hammonton, and Cherokee was able to sniff that out and force a punt.
2:44 to go. Cherokee, 2 timeouts left, and they're going to get the ball probably in pretty good field position.
At the punt, number 8, Drew Craig. And to receive for the Chiefs, number 11, Tommy Pajic.
And you got Tommy Pajic back to receive near midfield.
He wanted a bigger role, Pajic did, because he is an outstanding kicker, and now he's a wide out, and he's a punt returner, and Craig just gets it to him. And Pajic's going to have an opportunity. From the 47, finds the sideline and gets popped.
That was a hit. Coming up to make the hit was Frederick Weiss.
To the 39, 31-yard punt, 7 on the return, and Cherokee on offense trailing 7-3 with 2:36 to go until halftime here at Marlton Cherokee High School on BFA. Tomorrow night, remember, we are at Kingsway. 6 o'clock, Williamstown and the Dragons. This is Chris Losey sitting in for Mike Gill tonight.
And Vin Evans sitting in for Doug Stasic tonight.
Perfect. Dynamite.
We're the sub crew.
We're the B crew tonight. Here in one of Coffee's favorite locations, Cherokee kids are out in the stands.
Yeah?
So we're going to be doing a lot of that tonight, just so you know.
I'm good. I'm down.
Did you have a chance to meet him?
I did not. I mean, I've heard certainly tons of great things about the late Coffee. What a fantastic guy he was. Great analyst.
He's still percolating somewhere. I always tell him all the time, percolate.
He's watching our broadcast.
Yep.
Oh, got a flag here.
Whistles will stop this. That is another delay of game. Bender twice didn't get the play off. So now it'll be 1st and 15.
Yeah, Chris, that's going to be something they discuss in the locker room. Certainly you're reviewing everything from the first half, but the penalties, have been critical against Cherokee. They've had a couple really big ones today, and not just the delays of games that are pushing them back.
We expected to have a good one, and we've got it. Brown in motion, Bender on the keeper. Will get inside the 40 to the 38. He'll get most of the penalty yards back, if not all of them.
Yeah, it was a good reaction by Bender, too. That was a high snap that he had to kind of reach back and grab and able to get something out of it on that play. I think Cherokee's got to go back to the air here, Chris. Closing in on 2 minutes left in the first half. They want to go into the locker room feeling pretty good about their offense, and they're looking to score here.
Why not? And you've got a weapon in Pajic, so you're only about 15 yards away from his range. Bender again to about the 35, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 8.
I think they're playing keep away from Kenny Smith.
Yeah.
I think they're just running out the clock as much as they need to here to try and get into the red zone and score. But, I mean, Cherokee milking the clock here toward the end of the first half so that they could be the last ones with the ball here. But, I mean, they're pressed up against, a big 3rd down here. I mean, if they're doubling down, they got to get this first down, otherwise it's all for naught.
It's 3rd and 6. They need the 29-yard line. Now we can see the monitor. How about that?
There we go.
Bender chased by Joey Gillen, got it away, and it is caught, and it's a 1st down to Trent Osborne.
Yeah, it's a big play. That's exactly what Cherokee needed there. It's developed a little bit slowly, but they were able to get it off and get the big 1st down. Hammonton was looking for a stop there. You'll see it here on the replay. Bender looking, almost ran out of time there, almost was sacked for a 7-yard loss, able to get the ball off. And now Cherokee inside the red zone.
Down to the 20, Campfield.
Get up the middle of the camp.
Got about 3 on the play, and now they'll stop the clock. Donald Church on the stop for Hammonton, and that is Cherokee's second timeout, stopping the clock with 53 seconds to go.
And Cherokee leading to the big game plan here. Timeout called on. They're going to talk things over. I mean, this is big stop for Hammonton here, Chris. I mean, obviously they want to keep things at 7-3, and if they get the ball back, great. If they don't, they want to keep Cherokee off the scoreboard, or at the very least take the lead.
Saw a shot of the Cherokee huddle, and you saw 74 Chris Terrian, and he just towers over everybody else.
It's the kind of guy you want on the offensive line.
Bundy, I promised. There's a shout out to the kid, all right? I promised you. Chris Terrian doing a recovery event. So proud of that man.
Yeah.
With his alcoholism and his overcoming alcoholism, and he's just an unbelievable champion for all those who are suffering from that disease. Wrote a book, Road to Redemption. I recommend it highly. He was here last time. We plugged the book.
Ah, there we go.
So hopefully we got 3 or 4 people to buy the book.
Yeah.
After the timeout, Bender looks deep, and it is incomplete. They fought for it. Nice job on the defense. Jaden Smith with a battle with Trent Osborne, and Smith won it.
That was this close to being a touchdown to put Cherokee up in front. Check it out here on the replay. Big play by Jaden Smith. Bender had his man in the end zone. It was in his hands, and Smith said, "Not today."
3rd down, 8 at the 18. I think if you're Coach Glatz, you know you got the 3 in your pocket with Pagic. It's Brown in motion on the fake, and that ball is tipped.
It's a big play by Hammonton there. I mean, yes, it stops the clock, but I mean, that could have been a touchdown.
Christian Medina.
Curious to what they do here on 4th down. Obviously in field goal range, but I mean, you want to go for the touchdown here. You just nearly had it a moment ago.
You got to kick it here. You're going to get the ball back to start the second half. I don't know why. You got a Division I kicker in high school who does not miss. I think he's just going to wait and call a timeout, and he does with 43 seconds to go.
It's a big decision to make.
He waited for the play clock to go down. I don't think there's any question it's going to be Pagic. Meanwhile, Cherokee is out of timeouts. On a 4th down and 8, they're at the 18-yard line. Chris Losey, Vin Ebenu, BFA Sports crew here tonight. There's Chris Terrian.
There we go.
And we just went off of him. That's all right.
Back to the Hammonton huddle.
That's all right. Go back to that one, Joe.
Meanwhile, on the visitor's sideline.
Nah, we're going to go back to that.
All right, back to the
look,
home
guys over there with the helmet, 74. Look, at 74 and 71, when they talk about bookends, wow.
Yep.
71 is on the right, 74 is on the left. And look at the sun coming in on the Hammonton huddle. But there's Christian Medina, 58. That was him. He broke up that pass, and like you said, Vin, that could have been 6.
Easily. I mean, you're looking at a different game going into the half.
And I don't understand where the confusion was. They're going to bring Pagic out, and it'll be 35-yard attempt. Why not?
It's almost a guarantee here. Obviously, a guarantee it certainly if he makes it. But I mean, you get some points on the board rather than come up short on a 4th down.
And now,
time.
Yeah, you think Jim Razzo's going to make Pagic think about it a little bit.
Ice the kicker.
And he'll burn his second timeout. In high school football, you can call consecutive timeouts. So he may just do that again. You can't do that at the pro level.
Hey, you can't bring timeouts into the second half.
No, but you can't in the NFL. You can't call consecutive timeouts.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So you can here. So I don't know if I'm Jim. There's Jim. Always under control, except when he was really hot about a holding call that he thought that the officials missed, and the illegal formation that wiped out a 4th down conversion.
That was a big play.
So if you see 45 in there again, had a blocked field goal last week. That's Joey Gillen. There he is. Now, if we can stay on Coach Razzo to see if he calls the other timeout, and we'll watch him. And no, he's not. But good job, like you said, on the Hammonton defense, making the drive stall at the 18, and Pagic off the high snap
That might have been tipped.
is good. And we got a 1-point game. With 37 seconds to go, it's 7-6, Hammonton in front. Back with the kickoff here on BFA.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for two, price for one. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I be like, sheesh. Sunset.
Something like that.
Ain't got to tell me not to win tailgate.
7-6 to score, 2 field goals. From Tommy Pagic, that's the Cherokee offense. Meanwhile, on the other side, Kenny Smith, 11 carries, 100 yards. I was just seeing if you were paying attention.
99.
With 1 timeout left, I think maybe that's why Jim Razzo didn't want to call the last one, because he still has 1 left. Hammonton with another opportunity. Camargo Smith back on this kick, and again, I don't think
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on how far they
Smith is going to see
back here.
And Isaiah Moore, if you'll notice, he has been replaced after he muffed the last kickoff.
So, I mean, if Hammonton can get a large return here, maybe they go for it, but I think they just go into formation.
How about this one? It went right off of Wayner. There's the scramble for it. Did Cherokee get it? They did.
That's huge.
Andrew Wayner was in coverage all the way, and they banged it right off of his body. And Cherokee, out of timeouts with 33 seconds left, a chance.
I mean, that's a nightmare scenario if you're Hammonton here, giving Cherokee the ball. You have the chance to at least run down the field, maybe kick another field goal there. And that's certainly that's going to be talked about in 33 seconds when Hammonton goes back to the locker room.
Again, out of timeouts. The Chiefs have it at the Hammonton 49.
I mean, for Cherokee, you got to pass the ball here. That's the only way with no timeouts if you want to get yourself into field goal range.
33 seconds to go. Ryan Bender, shotgun with Camfield next to him. It's a fake. Bender rolling deep far side. Great coverage and incomplete. Justin Dowdy ran the whole way with Osborne, and it's a second down.
Yeah, he was just out of the reach of Osborne. He was heading toward out of bounds anyway. But
Canada. Just saying. That's what Dowdy did, and Dowdy pushed him to the boundary. It was
Yeah.
Great job. Second down. Another co-captain. 3 captains on the Hammonton team, and then the 4th captain is they call the swing captain. See, if you watch the coaches show with Jim Razzo every Wednesday, then you would have known that on BFA.
it's fair.
2nd and 10. More importantly, the clock, 27 seconds. Luke Brown in motion, a high snap that Bender gets. The screen, and it was read beautifully by Wayner. No chance from Campfield. 3rd and long.
Oh, Wayner just coming out of the backfield here. You see on the instant replay, the high snap slowed it down, and then pop. Ball jarred loose, catch not made. Big stop for Hammonton. That's brings up a big 3rd down here. So, I mean, Cherokee got the ball back, 33 seconds. They've used 11 seconds across 2 plays here. And if they don't get it here, this is going to be the end of the half. So Hammonton looking for a big stop.
Remember, the Blue Devils have 1 timeout left. Cherokee out. 3 wide receivers. Instead, they run the ball, and Campfield gets to the 40, short of the 1st down. And does Jim Razzo let the clock run out? I think he will.
You saw Joey Gillen trying to pop that ball loose and create a fumble there, so credit to him from the defense.
Clock ticking, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. I don't think they're going to get this off.
No.
They are not going to get it off, and that is how the first half ends in a nice one thus far here in Marlton. Our score at halftime, Hammonton 7, Cherokee 6. And halftime is next here on BFA.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for two, price for one. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I be like, sheesh.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for two, price for one. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I be like, sunset.
Full stadium here in Marlton, getting ready to start third quarter. 7-6 is our score. Hammonton over Cherokee. And you are watching Hammonton Blue Devils football on BFA Sports. Proud to be here this year. Don't forget tomorrow night, Williamstown will be at Kingsway. Our coverage begins at 6 o'clock. It's the Dragons and the Braves. And we wait. But Cherokee, they deferred, so they'll get the ball to start this second half. They got a big turnover on the onside kick, and when we get our special guest on here, we'll talk to him about that. He knows a little something about special teams, and that was quite a sight, actually. So here we go. That is now, what do you call that? I'm going to ask him that one, but that is something to see. Look at that. That is the student section. It says, "We bleed orange," amongst other signs there. It's great to see. High school football is back, folks. Happy Labor Day weekend early to you all. 7-6 our score. And Gavin Kovacs, we're watching him in warm-ups. He's good from about 35, but on the other side, Pagic is unbelievable. He is the offense for Cherokee. I know he's been looked at by some D1 schools, and we'll get some more on that in about 3 minutes. Kovacs at the 8-yard line. It's Luke Brown. And hit hard. He gets down to the 26. That's Joey Gillen, as promised, our special guest tonight. Marlton royalty. Randy Brown, ladies and gentlemen. He's now the special teams coach at Baltimore Ravens for a couple of years, right? How many?
16 seasons in Baltimore, Chris.
Unbelievable.
16.
So I was going to say something, but I can't because you look so good, it's disgusting. I mean, I can't stand it. Really?
Well, thank you. It's the Italian blood. It's my.
Then what's my excuse?
My 80-year-old mom. Well, you officiate. I just coach.
Ah, I see.
That's all the pressure is officiating, not coaching. Right. You know. But
so
thanks for having me. This is, this is my home stadium, and played games here in the 80s and 83, 84 for Jim Horner. My brother played games, and now I get to watch my nephew play games.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second as they were, as Bender on the keeper, and he's got a hole up the middle. Ryan
Nobody's
Bender.
catching him.
No one's going to catch him, says Randy. Touchdown, Cherokee. 74 yards down the middle.
What a play, for Cherokee. They obviously went in at halftime and made some adjustments. All right, they just ran a QB keep. They tried to give it to Luke Brown, but they pulled it. He saw linebacker over pursued, and the safety just left where he normally should be in the middle of the field. And Ryan Bender goes 74 yards to start the half. What a nice way to start after 2 field goals in the first half for the Chiefs.
Speaking of field goals, and it looks like we've got an injured Chief who is down in the end zone. Trying to see a number.
That looks like a cramp. That looks like Osborne's son, and it looks like he's got a cramp down there.
That is Osborne. I never speculate. So
yeah.
Well, now that we got a chance, so we had the pregame ceremonies. That was your nephew Luke.
Yeah, Luke, my son. What a great young man. My brother Rick runs the 5th Quarter Club here at Cherokee. And what a great program we have. And this is Luke's 3rd year of varsity. And really proud of Luke and Murad and of all these kids. We've seen these kids play since they were 5 years old. But you know what? Really, South Jersey football, Chris, and to have great programs like Hammonton, like Cherokee, Lenape, Shawnee. It doesn't matter how long you are in the National Football League. It all starts right here, Chris.
Sure.
It really does.
How about this kid, Pagic? I mean, do you know what schools he's talking to? Because he has got D1 leg.
I don't. He's got a great leg. And by the way, Luke Brown holding.
Okay. Oh, they blocked it. Joey Gillen got in there. That's his second block of the season. One of the co-captains, number 45, he had the blocked field goal last week, so they don't convert, and it's 12-7.
Really nice job here. You see penetration between the guard and the tackle. Just gets right through. The guard block, the tackle blocks out instead of blocking down. Really good play by the defender to go through and block the kick. I love this replay. We didn't even have TV. When we played in the 80s, we didn't have TV in the 90s. Now that we only got TV, we got replays to see great plays made by great high school football players.
Getting better. And that's what I tell so many people, being an official. Back in the old days, you can probably get away with some things that you can't now because everybody's got a camera. Everybody's got a phone. And it winds up on YouTube, things like that. How about an umpire getting thrown out of a game?
Yeah,
an umpire getting thrown out.
Crazy. That was great. My father, Rich Brown, was a football official, South Jersey football official for 35 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And Dad passed away in 2000. And, the great part is, when you go back and you see some of the great South Jersey football coaches and Vince McEnany and Jim Horner and Archie Stallcup and these guys are just great. Frank, just great high school football coaches. And the way that they treated the officials was classy all the time, all right? Now, it was a different game back then because you're right. The second guessing stopped there, or you might have had a VHS film of the game.
All grainy and stuff. Yeah. By the way, that was the Dallas Super Bowl videos, right, in VHS. I had to throw that one in there. At the goal line, Camargo in trouble. And he's dropped before the 20, making them at the 15-yard line. That is good special teams by Cherokee. What'd they do right there?
Really good special teams. So they bring the outside guy, which is number 4. He's the 2. He's going to come from the top of your screen there. So usually they like the halfbacks to block the outside guys, the 2s. But the 2 came right in, caught right in front. We always say bring your shoulder pads and put your helmet across for the tackle. Nice play.
Lewis Rhodes.
You can't block them all. That's the thing about special teams, even at any level. You can't block them all, and you got to hope your returner makes somebody miss. But that was just an excellent job by the Chiefs.
2 nuggets in 34 seconds. Unbelievable. You're the man.
I tell you, I love this already. Here we go. I'm almost done.
Drew,
am I done at the 11 minute mark or what?
No. Drew Craig, hands up. That's Kenny Smith. He's got 104 yards now with a 4-yard gain. And another whistle and a flag. And then we'll check the flag. Another rule change in high school now, more like the NFL. Fouls behind the line of scrimmage were spot fouls. Now they'll go to the previous spot. It gets easier. It's a hold against the Blue Devils.
Chris, as far as the rules in the National Football League compare to the rules in high school, and you can see through all of high school, college, and the pros, they're really trying to mirror some of the rules so that these players it's just not a shock to them when they go
should be
from one to another, and it's a totally different game.
Don't you think they should be?
What I love about high school and college is when a player's down, he's down. Because it doesn't, that's a rule I don't want to see. Because the late hits, especially in high school, college, guys don't control their bodies as well as they do in the National Football League. But I love that rule. I always have, and I don't want that one to change.
That might not. There's not enough pressure, I think. But there is pressure to make the rule book more uniform, like fouls, like clock. Now, I can almost guarantee you next year high school baseball is going to probably go to a pitch clock because college already did it. So it's one of those things.
How awesome is Major League Baseball right now?
I love it.
It's great.
I love it. I love it. See that clock? I love it. I mean, well, remember, it's my 26th year in college baseball coming up, and we did a junior college game because we have a delay game against Hammonton. And a junior college game right out of the box, my first one, like March 3rd, 10 innings, 2 hours and 9 minutes.
That's great.
You just don't beat that. You don't beat that.
Well, I live downtown Baltimore, so I get to walk to Orioles games. So I get to an Orioles game at 7:35 of a 7:05 start, and by 9:15, I'm usually already home.
You know what time they start here now? 6:40.
That's great.
I don't know who did that. I agree.
I love it. It's because the everyday person has to be able to go to these games and come home at a decent hour.
Agreed. Way back toward the goal line. They've got a mishap. Did Craig come back with it? It looks like he did. Just out of the end zone. This is disaster averted by Hammonton, but they're in trouble.
So they try the fake handoff and then the give to the back. Unfortunately, the quarterback pulled it too quickly, and the ball just ended up on the ground. That's an interesting play for coming out of the goal line. Usually, it's just two tights, get a fullback in there, and get a couple more yards. So right here, I would assume that they're going to try to just move that ball out of the end zone here, but they're still in shotgun too.
That was Rick Hitachi, the official tonight. He's the referee. Second down and a long way to go. Just outside the goal line. And that's a safe play with Kenny Smith. He's got 100 yards. And did he get out? Oh, he got out. They're saying he got out.
To Brian Smith.
And that's the thing. I don't care what level you're at. All right, you've got to go north and south. When you're in the goal line, you're inside the 5-yard line. You've got to go north and south. Okay, you can't bounce the ball. You go north and south. Get yourself 3 or 4 yards. Because either way, Chris, you got to punt. All right, and you want to have.
So you're setting up for punt now.
You know, it's 3rd and 20, right? Outside of a big foul on the defense, you're going to punt. But give yourself your punt team the full 15 yards to punt, Chris.
So are you yelling right now, punt alert, and all that stuff?
We're yelling punt alert, and we're yelling alert tight, because if a team decides they're going to bring the gunners in, the next thing you know, you got 10 men up on the line of scrimmage.
3rd down, another bobble in the back of the line. Kenny Smith gets out to the 5. That was just a disaster for Hammonton, and they will do well just to get out of harm's way.
They got the 5 yards we asked for. This isn't Frank's first rodeo coaching football, so he knows he gets himself. He does a great job here in getting his punter 15 yards here, or 14. But this is the thing when you coach these punters, Chris.
Yeah. You
can't step backwards, because you step on that end, the back of the end zone, and now you're looking at safety.
Correct.
So now if you're Cherokee, you're thinking, okay, am I going to go for a return, or am I going to go for a block? Now, if I'm Cherokee, I'm going to go for a block. All right, it's close enough. Go for a block, maybe get a low punt.
Absolutely. Low snap. Craig got it away. Terrible kick. But did they rough him? They didn't rough him.
No, that was the lineman of their back 4 wedge that got hit.
Look where they spot this one. How about the 15?
See, and that's where when you rush a team, Chris, it doesn't always have to result in a block. It results in a bad punt. And unfortunately,
Aaron Sipas,
that happened there.
Aaron Sipas, ring a bell? I mean, that's exactly what happened in the Super Bowl. I thought it was a bad punt because he had pressure coming, right?
I think anytime any punter has pressure, regardless of the National Football League punter or a college, high school punter, their eyes are going to leave the ball, because that's where you don't want it to leave the ball. But they do.
Yes. Yes.
And I doubt that these high school kids have enough time to punt from the back of their end zone during the week.
Another excellent point. You're the man. And there goes Canfield untouched for a Cherokee touchdown. And the Chiefs have turned this game upside down in the first 3 minutes of the 3rd quarter.
So when Cherokee here says, okay, we ran the ball effectively late in the first half, so we're going to go and we're going to play that zone read here. And with that zone read, the quarterback has to decide what's happening with that defensive lineman. So here, he saw the defensive lineman was coming up the field, and then just gave it to Murad Hamfield, and Murad scored. So, anytime here, see the quarterback's looking where that defensive end is. Defensive end comes up the field, he's got to give the ball. If the defense end crashed, he goes ahead and keeps it.
How good a coach is Brian Gladstone? I mean, these are amazing halftime adjustments.
That's high school football, right?
Whoops. We had movement. Looked like Hammonton got in first.
No, I think Cherokee. I think that right guard moved. I think the right guard moved prior to.
You're right.
Beautiful start.
So it's going to push them back, but that's not a problem for Patrick. So what do you know about him? I mean, you know what schools he's talking to?
Yeah, I've seen Tommy kick. His father's been involved in Division I football for a long time, so Tommy's been around the game. I've seen him kick for the last 6 years. Good, long-legged kid, probably a Division I AA type punter.
Your nephew holds a high snap.
And good.
And it's 19-7. We'll be back with a kickoff here on BFA.
Your Cherokee Chiefs.
Pizza Hut's stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for 2, price for 1. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I be like, shoes.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, they were
I don't know.
They were going to get Erasa, and they're trying to get Erasa? As we're back, how about Cherokee? 7-6 at halftime, and is now 19-7 with a pair of touchdowns.
So, Chris, you talked right about adjustments before we went to break there. And Cherokee goes in, they've run 2 plays and scored 2 touchdowns. So, obviously, they've changed the way they're blocking up front. And they saw that Hammonton was playing a little softer on the inside. And they've attacked twice up the middle for 2 touchdowns. So now it's time for Hammonton. Now Hammonton's got to say, okay, now we need to stop that. Let them beat us by the air.
Always like Ryan Bender. So the last time it was that squib kick, and I'll tell you about that. That's a free ball. And I don't know if he was in bounds. It's tough. They're talking about it. They're still talking about it. No signal yet. I don't know if he was in bounds. They're still talking about it. They're giving it to Cherokee. That deserves another look.
Here we go, Chris.
John Phillips.
Okay, so remember you know the rule, right?
Yes.
As long as he gets possession inbounds. So let's say right here, he has possession inbounds. Yeah, it's not a carryover like the NFL, as you know.
I know.
Possession inbounds before another body part hits out of bounds.
This is the one that would get it.
Yeah.
The deep wing is the one that would come in.
And without a replay, that's a bang-bang call on the field.
Yep.
All right. But, we always teach our back-end guys, field the ball like a shortstop. Just don't put your knee all the way down. Field it like a shortstop on these squibs like this.
Did you see the squib at the end of the first half?
I did, yeah. Yep.
Campfield to the 15. Gain of 4. If you're Hammonton, you've got to keep him out of the end zone here.
I think you do. You really do, and I'm really interested to see here now. Cherokee says, okay, is Hammonton going to bring another defensive lineman in the box? Are they going to bring their safeties down now? What are they going to do to stop Cherokee's running game right now? So it's point, counterpoint, and this is what's so great about high school football. It's who's going to coach better here and make the best adjustment. 2 deep zone, so when they're 2 deep zone,
Bender, and that was read beautifully by Kenny Smith.
Outstanding play by Kenny there. Saw it, came out of his defensive position. Watch, he reads this play. Reads this play perfectly, breaks on it from the safety position. And that's where the quarterback's got to read off. If he's going to throw that pass, it's either got to be a quick hitter or he's got to look that safety off right away.
Leo Bluestein on the reception, the immediate hit. Now it's a 3rd down. You're calling 7 at the 16-yard line. We have a terrible vantage point here. I'm going to go with the board.
Well, it's a great place to watch a game of football, I'll tell you that.
Sure is. Bender, shoulder fake.
Touchdown.
Over the middle, wide open, touchdown. To number 7, whose name ends in Brown. Give it to him.
Go ahead. What a great job. What a great job here. Luke Brown, with what you're going to see, a little stutter step at the line of scrimmage. Quarterback goes ahead, looks off the safety like we talked in the play before, and hits Luke. Proud of the kid. The kid's worked so hard, plays so many different positions. Really happy for him. What a great job for Luke.
Off the shoulder fake.
Watch the safety bites, right?
On the
safety
shoulder
bites
fake,
on the fake. The slot receiver goes down. Just as we said, and he's talking to the safety, they're talking to each other. Miscommunication on the back end. And playing football is hard. Playing high school football is even harder because you don't get the time. But really, 3 great drives by Cherokee coming out of the half. Hammonton has to respond on this drive, Chris.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for 2, price for 1. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I be like, sunset.
Can we get Sean up here? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. See, there's Frank. Look.
Oh, yeah. So Frank is easily. I served on the the Brooks Irvine Board of Governors for a long, long time, and Frank served on the Board of Governors with me.
So
me and Jim Horner and Timmy Gushu and that whole group. And
that's all right. Keep going. This is a good story. We're back, but that's all right. Keep going.
Yeah, so I was saying about Frank Fuccitel. I served on the Board of Governors of the Brooks Irvine Memorial Football Club for many, many years and served with Frank. And, you know, all of us, we just, you know, we do it because we want to be part of South Jersey football and want to be part of South Jersey football. And Frank is all about the players in South Jersey football, you know?
Joey Gillen, like a shortstop, is able to field it. And Hammonton will now get possession. At the 7-minute mark, they had a 7-6 lead. They look up at the board, and they're down by 18.
So I would say tactically, I didn't agree with that play. You're up by 18. You have the team on the ropes, and now you just got greedy. So, you know, that's a play. You kick the ball deep, make them go 80, 90 yards on you. Don't give them the ball at the 41-yard line.
I think the key right now for Jim Razzo and Hammonton is not the panic. There's a ton of time left. And you got Kenny Smith right there. And they get him out in space, and he just got clotheslined, and the flags come in. Now the next question is, do you chuck him, Randy? I don't think you do.
No, I don't think you do. I think it was just a high tackle, came in high. It's, Cherokee doesn't teach that, of course.
Face mask.
But really, to your point earlier, what you were just making about Hammonton, plenty of time left. They've got really good athletes on the offensive line, on the offense. So 3 gets the quick screen here. Nice job blocking out front before the pass is caught. Good block by the wide receiver. And then number 8, I think that's Darwin Walker.
Yes,
Darwin comes up high on him. All right, doesn't grab the face mask. Good call, 15 yards. All right, Darwin's got to go ahead, and we always talk about where the target zone is. And target zone is down in the chest, not the head.
Not there.
I have a feeling when he gets home, his dad might have a conversation with him about that tackle.
After the penalty, it's at the 34. Craig, he lost it. That's a fumble. That's a fumble, and it's picked up by Cherokee, and it's Bluestein, and he will score. What has gone wrong for Hammonton tonight? 66 yards.
Well, that's a shame for the kid. Frank gets right out there and taps the kid. I feel terrible for the kid. When you go ahead, sometimes the ball gets slippery, and unfortunately just dropped out of his hands. Cherokee went ahead and picked it up, and very advantageous.
Excellent call, too, I think, by everybody watching, because this isn't the empty hand, Randy, right?
Yeah.
The empty hand.
That is, the empty hand is right. Leo Bluestein goes ahead and shows his speed. Leo's another one of these kids that came all the way up through the Marlton Rec program. And, here he is making a big play on senior night here at Cherokee.
This game has turned so fast. In 33 years of calling football, high school, college, I've never seen a game change like this.
Well, when Hammonton takes that 95-yard drive early in the game, and I thought they controlled that whole first quarter.
Absolutely.
I thought they controlled the first quarter. I'm sitting with my mom watching the game. My mom's 80, and she knows more about football than I do because she's
love her.
The mom of a couple of coaches.
You'll get Tyler in, don't worry. Pagic. 4 for 4, 32-7, 6:51 left in the third on BFA.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good, topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for 2, price for 1. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I be like, sheesh.
Frank Fusatola, the special teams of Hammonton. 7-6, they went into the locker room with a lead. They now are down by 24 points. Unbelievable.
And you know what? I thought they've really controlled the entire first quarter. I thought Hammonton controlled a great 95-yard drive. But that's the thing about football. momentum, especially with two teams who are very similar in quality of football, which both these teams are, right? You could change jerseys and they'll be the same team. Great, well-coached teams. But momentum in football, especially at this level, Chris, takes it over. The game is taken over by momentum.
I can remember being the voice of Westchester 12 years ago. Westchester had a 35-0 lead and lost it to East Stroud.
Yeah.
So that's the one I remember the most. Now we got a pooch kick at the 25-yard line. Justin Dowdy dropped immediately.
So Cherokee's like, okay, we're not going to kick the ball deep now. So instead of doing that, force him into a return, smart play, all right, with a pooch. But before we go on, I just got to mention about my friend and your friend, Coffee Jones. Oh. Chris, and what a great team you and Coffee made, man. And I've been with Coffee for, as you know, all the way back to Arena League days when I was helping Jaws out with the Soul. And so many events with Coffee. Yeah. One of the nicest human beings. I've been in the NFL for 20 years. I've coached football 32. Haven't met many nicer guys than Coffee Jones in my 32 years of football.
Yeah, it's interesting. I sent you the clip of the game last week, and we decided we weren't going to do a color analyst at all. And it's hard, but we're getting through it. And a lot of support from people like you.
I'm sitting here.
Jaws.
I'm sitting here because remember I sat in the stands with you last year for a Cherokee Williams.
Oh my God,
game, right?
I know.
And Coffee's like, here, take Coffee.
Wait, got to back up. First of all, the game got out of hand.
Yeah.
I turned to him. I think we're looking at Philly score and things like that. And I went, go in your phone. Who's here? Something like that. Because remember, I had Chris Terrian here, right? And because his son plays for Cherokees, we got an injured Blue Devil on the field, and he said, Randy Brown's coming up. Get out. He said, yeah. I said, okay. So, and I knew you were a coach, but I didn't know, about the Marlton connection. So now Bundy's here, selling the book, another Cherokee touchdown. You come up. Coffee's like, I'm leaving.
I'm good.
He's checking out Georgia stuff, and oh my God, do you know the urn was a football with a Georgia logo on it?
No, but I'm not surprised.
And I you know what? That's tough to see right here. And at the memorial, I mean, you want to be upbeat and you want to be happy. I was like, well, let's have a catch. And I went to the football. I didn't know it was his urn.
Wow.
Oh, man. He would not have liked that. But no, let me tell you something. 7 years together, and sitting here, this is the last place we did a football game, and it's hitting you. It's tough, but thank you for that. And
you know what?
Because of him, that's how we met.
That's how we met. And the thing with Coffee is there were very few people who were more unselfish than him.
Oh, my God.
And his relationship with Ron Jaworski. And Ron Jaworski's in the great, I don't know how many of you know.
And Liz.
What Ron Jaworski and the Jaws Youth Fund has done for the youth in South Jersey and in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And Coffee was at the tip of the spear with that. And to me, I was mayor of this town for 12 years. And unfortunately, I was at a few funerals in my 12-year tenure.
Yeah.
But it's really the legacy that you leave is what really defines you as a person.
It sure does.
And Coffee has left such a great legacy. And I'm honored to be sitting here with his headphones, 12 months later.
Yeah.
Because he's sitting somewhere here saying, can you believe what just happened to guys?
That's backwards. Or are they going to rule that forwards from the pass to Camargo? And everything is just coming unglued. And you can see the body language. And I think it's important now for the Hammonton coaching staff is to reel it back in and just do it in like pieces. Like, let's get a first down first and let's gauge things that way.
So you got a veteran coach in Frank, right? He knows this is a long season. They still got 9 more games to play, right? So you're not going to go ahead and really, scream and holler. You're right. Put one play together. Right. The next play. The most important play for this team is this play.
I'm glad you mentioned Frank because the influence that he has had on Jim Razzo, the head coach, has been invaluable, and Jim knows that. I mean, he always relies on Frank. And here's Kenny Smith, and he runs right over to get a first down. That's what you got to do.
Well, you have to do it, and Kenny's obviously one of the best players on the team, one of the better players in South Jersey. So what do you do when things aren't going right? Get the ball in the best player's hands. and let the best player go ahead and try to make some plays. He drops his shoulder, legal hit, legal play. All right, outstanding run. All right, by a veteran player.
He's got 112 yards now on the day, and he ran right over Evan Breifogel, and that gave the first down to Hammonton at the 39. Kenny Smith again, but now they're going to focus on him. A yard to the 40.
Yeah, so if you're Cherokee right now, you say, okay, I got to take the best player away. How do I take the best player away? If he's going to line up out at wide receiver, then I'm going to make sure I double. I'm going to bring a corner and a safety over. If he's going to be at tailback, I'm going to drop my safety down the box. I'm going to play man, and I'll make them beat you by the air. So that's where the chess match always goes on.
Yep.
It's where is he going to be lined up, and how are we going to defend him?
5:10 to go, third quarter. That is the correct score. There's nothing wrong with your screen. Went from 7-6 to 33-7 just like that. Under 5 to go, second down and 9 for the Blue Devils. This is Craig rolling out after a pump, dumps it off. That's Joey Gillen, two-way player, co-captain, and he's up to the 46. Bring up a third down and short. That's a manageable. And I said to the Coffee all the time, get to a manageable third down.
Manageable third downs are so important. So right now, the Hammonton coaching staff saying, okay, we got 2 plays here. So let's be smart with this play here. We got 2. All right, let's get some more yards. So I'd expect a short manageable play here, a short play offensively.
Dowdy at the top of the screen. Kenny Smith turns it back, spins around, and has a first down to the Cherokee 48. And I like what Hammonton's doing now. They got hit. They really got punched. But it looks like they're getting their footing again, and they're moving into Cherokee territory.
What you can't do, Chris, is you can't panic and go ahead and say, oh, I'm going to throw 9 routes. I'm going to throw 9 routes. No, give the ball to your best player, okay? Give the ball to your best player. Big picture, we've got a lot of football to play still in this game and for the season.
18 minutes plus. 3:50 to go in the third. Gillen in motion. And Craig to put it up near side. On target to Camargo. Another first down to the 36.
What a nice job by the quarterback, right? So here he goes. We know, Chris, one of the hardest plays in football is throwing a sprint out to the opposite way that you're comfortable with. So he's sprinting out left, gets his shoulders turned down the field, throws the ball on a strike. All right, really nice job. I like this is what you were saying earlier. It's just building. It's offense. What's most important? This play now. The next play is the most important play.
They were down here, and then they had the mishap on the quarterback fumble. Kenny Smith for 2.
I thought last year's Cherokee-Hammonton game was an amazing football game. Went down to the wire. Hammonton won last year. I believe they won by a touchdown at the end of the game. What a great football game. But, Chris, what you're starting to see, some of these players are cramping up. 7 was cramping up there. You get some guys cramping. It's much warmer than I think they expected. You got to hydrate like 5 days ahead of time.
That's what Coffee said. Coffee said all the time, hydrate. It's inevitable, folks. We're going to do a whole bunch of Coffee memories. And this is second down, and it's picked off back at the 5-yard line. So the drive ends at the 5. Evan Breifogel, who got run over on a run by Kenny Smith, redeems himself with the interception.
So they thought they were going to be able to have the safety bite. All right, so he throws a post pattern, and unfortunately the safety stayed back there for him. Nice play by the safety. We always say what for the safeties? You better be as deep as the deepest. And Evan was as deep as the deepest, all right, and made a play. But you know what? It was still a good drive for Hammonton. Hammonton's got to build on that drive. It's a really good drive. Get the ball back. Let's keep building on that drive. I coach 8 years of high school football, Chris. And I coach 4 years at Cherokee and 4 years at Holy Cross. And when you do film session on Mondays, even after losses, you got to be able to build on things with these kids. And I miss coaching high school football. I'm the coach I am today because of high school football, because you coach. You know, you're coaching high school football, you're coaching offense, defense, and special teams. There's only 5 of you. Might be 6.
Yeah.
And, I was lucky enough to coach with Tom Madeira and John Scott, some of the best coaches in South Jersey football.
Bender and the Chiefs take over.
No safety.
And there is Campfield. And this is going to be an 89-yard touchdown. And Cherokee has opened this game wide open.
So Murad Campfield shows the speed of which he has and why he's such an asset to this football team. When he gets into the open, it's rare that anybody's going to catch him. And we were talking earlier, Chris, about the safety and what happens. When you're the safety, you've got to make sure that you read run. And the safety bit on the wrong side of the play, the linebacker went outside, and Cherokee just found the holes on the Hammonton defense at halftime. And they've exposed it.
All for a point after number 11, Tommy Patrick.
Pagic. If my math is right, now we got flags.
Flag on the play.
What do you think?
I think we're going to get an unsportsmanlike on Hammonton. The umpire threw it, Chris. I think we're going to get an unsportsmanlike.
Who threw it? The umpire threw it?
Umpire threw it. Yeah, they've got unsportsmanlike on Hammonton.
So they're going to do it on the kickoff. Yeah, you can't have that. This is only week number. Actually, it's week 1 because you have the week 0 game.
Right.
You got a long way to go. But
well, you and I have been down there, and a lot of things get said down there, and you don't know if the athletes are speaking to each other or speaking to officials, and we hope they're only speaking to each other.
It's hard. Look at 7 hold there.
Another nice job by Luke Brown. Another nice job by Tommy Patrick. It's not easy to kick.
Did you expect that you were going to call your nephew's name a few times?
No, what a great night. I didn't even know you were going to be here till, 3 o'clock today?
Yeah. 40 for Cherokee. Back with the kickoff after this.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for 2, price for 1. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
Well, special teams, and there's Frank Fusatola. He probably didn't wish he had this much airtime.
Yeah, Frank's got a lot to
do. He just covered the camera, so Nick Pence had to go a little high for it. But anyway, there's the story. 2:39 left third quarter, and Cherokee has turned a 1-point deficit into a 33-point lead here in the third. Wow. Wow.
Wow is right, and what a really solid job by Cherokee. Now they're going to kick off because of the 15-yard penalty.
Sportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike now, instead of kicking off at the 40, they'll kick off at the 45 of Hammonton.
So Pagic should put it right in through the uprights.
Yeah, you would think, depending on what the score is, or he's going to onside kick it.
Oh, come on. Now wow. All right.
So if
I'll
it's me,
I'll bet you lunch that he doesn't onside kick this.
I will bet you. I will take that bet. That
you're going to raise 2 tickets to a Ravens game.
2 tickets to a Ravens game. Ball doesn't go more than 15 yards.
Wow.
Good.
And it breaks the plane of the goal line, and there's just nothing you can do in high school. Sorry, Kenny. Next level. And that's Rick Takachi's telling him, once it's over the plane, it's dead at that point. So the name Brown, of course, synonymous with coaching at the higher level, the NFL. And you had a chance to coach against your son.
I did.
Tell us about that.
It was great. 2 weeks ago, my son is the assistant special teams coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, and got to coach against him. My daughter sang the national anthem at our game prior to Chris, and it was just a dream come true. Tyler played here at Cherokee also for P.J. Megan. And it was just an amazing night. He's worked really hard. He coached for Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, and Nick Sirianni hired him on day 1 of Nick's job.
That's awesome.
And Tyler's been with him ever since.
I hear nothing but good things about Sirianni. Kenny Smith wrapped up in the backfield, and he's beaten up.
Nick is what a great coach. He's obviously showed it, right? Eagles have an amazing organization, and just so proud of my son, proud of what he's done. But I'm 1-0 against him, and we won 20-19. And so he says to me when the game's over, "Oh, Dad, really? You needed a 60-yard field goal from Justin Tucker to be 1-0 against me?"
That was cute.
I said, yeah, but guess what?
Better hope the rematch ain't in Vegas.
I just hope the rematch isn't in Vegas.
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't think my 80-year-old mom is going to be alive after that if she can.
That's how focused. That's how focused you are. As we have second down, Kenny Smith, and he's just like he's going to be that relief pitcher that's just got to go in there and eat up all these innings, and he's getting buried.
But what Look where the kid. Kenny is running hard. It's 40-7. Doesn't mean anything.
Right.
It's this. We are running hard. He's running hard. Nice job. You can see some of the Cherokee defenders. Some of the Cherokee defenders are also, look like they're cramping a touch too. So Cherokee's going to be making some changes on the defensive side.
Great kid. 5 touchdowns last week against St. John Vianney.
Yeah, what a good football player. Really good. It's the first time I've seen him in person, heard about him, but he's got a bright future, that young man does.
Just going to go find the chat. Screen pass, Kenny Smith. Get him out in space. Look at the physicality. And he's close to a Hammonton first down at the 30.
Now that's good, clean football. All right, as a coach, you want to watch really good, clean football. Kenny gets the screen, puts his shoulder in to Darwin Walker. Darwin Walker steps up for the tackle, and that's good football.
That is the end of the third quarter, which has been all Cherokee and then some. They put 34 points on the board, and they lead 40-7. Randy Brown.
Chris, thank you so much for having me.
Always great to see you.
My pleasure. All right, and forever we love Coffee Jones.
And you lost the bet, and I'm holding you to it.
I did. So you're going to come to the 20.
Look at this. Look at this.
You're coming to the 2029 Ravens first preseason game for those 2 tickets I owe you.
Fourth quarter is next on BFA.
Thanks.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for 2, price for 1. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I be like, sunset.
We start the fourth quarter, and our thanks to our very special guest, Randy Brown, longtime Marlton mayor. That's why he's called mayor on Facebook. But as we start the fourth quarter with a 4th and 2, and why not go for it? You are at your own 27. Kenny Smith, and I think that little extra push got him close.
Hand off to Kenny Smith.
So, there might be some people watching and say, why are they going for it in their own zone? Because later in the season, you're going to need to get a 4th and 1 or a 4th and 2. So you might as well have your players do it now, all right, in a game that's...
And they may be bringing the chains out.
And that is short of...
Oh, no, it's short. They signaled for Cherokee. Anyway, real quick, BFA is proud to be doing something tomorrow. It's a charity concert. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so tomorrow is the Concert for a Cause, the Christina Grimmie Foundation. Christina grew up in Marlton. She was on The Voice 10 years ago. Unfortunately, her life was taken after a concert in Orlando 7 years ago. And my daughter, Ryan, is a singer. You can find her on Ryan Brown Instagram. Ryan is singing some of Christina's music. And on Saturday night at 6, here at Cherokee, we're doing the Concert for the Cause. That because of you guys, thank you to you, we're going to be able to have this thing streamed worldwide because of your organization. We can't thank Doug and everybody in the organization for doing it. It's a great cause. It's for families of victims of gun violence.
Wow.
So, Concert for a Cause. Go to my Facebook page at Randy Brown, Mayor Randy Brown, or Chris's Facebook page. I'll have him posted tonight. If you're interested in coming to the concert, it's 6 o'clock Saturday night here at Cherokee. If not, watch it on TV, watch it on live stream, or donate. It's an amazing cause. They've donated over $500,000 already to families and victims of gun violence, Chris.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
What Bud Grimmie has done and Mark Grimmie has done. So,
proud to do it.
All right, thank you so much, Chris. All right, really appreciate that.
Anytime. Vin, that's a tough act to follow, my friend. But come on in. Cooper Birdie is the freshman quarterback, is in for Ryan Bender. And we say thanks again to Randy Brown. Did you know he was on ESPN too for like a dozen years?
I did not.
Yeah.
It's good to know. He makes a great analyst.
What did you learn?
Oh, man, I learned a lot just from listening to him.
How about it?
The way he breaks down each and every play.
Yeah, but not just that. Well, his special team stuff.
Yeah.
Birdie keeps to the 26.
Tell you what, though. I mean, I thought this could be a defensive battle in the first half between Hammonton and Cherokee. You figure 7-6 at the halftime. We're going to get a close one. My goodness, did Cherokee make adjustments at halftime?
Didn't they? We talked about that. And it's just, you know, Hammonton has a lot of youth, but they've got a lot of speed with that youth. And I don't know what happened, but the first play on the Bender keeper, it looked like Joey got turned around, and then Bender was buying. That's unfortunately that's where this whole thing went downhill. 8:55 to go. I mean, I really don't want to recap it. That's not necessary. There's a good play by the Hammonton defense.
That's a good
You need some light? Oh, coffee. That was great. We put his phone. No. We have a highlight video. And
all right.
I said, "What are you doing?" And they showed us. He went, "It's getting a little dark up here." And he's going like this with the light. We were at Timber Creek.
Got to get creative a little bit.
Donald Church. There you go. We got it in stereo.
I mean, listen. I mean, at this point for Hammonton, you want to finish playing strong. You still want to play your best game. You want to go out playing on top. You come back and win, great. But you want to feel good even after a loss, as tough as it is. And I mean, listen. The locker room after a game like this is not a place you want to be. Trust me, after a tough loss like this.
And you can't fault anybody either. I mean, it's unfortunate that Drew Craig to fumble and score. I mean, the ball slipped out of his hands. Birdie. Is he going to throw it for the first time? He is, and that's a penalty. That's going to be pass interference on the far side, and that's a good call because I'll tell you, Caden Gamble had an armful down that sideline.
Yeah, Peterson. I mean, listen, this was a nice pass by Birdie to try and get the score here. But, I mean, it was just tight one-on-one coverage. You could tell they were going back and forth with each other the entire time. And instead of a touch, I mean, Cherokee's going to draw a little bit closer here. Caden Gamble just going back and forth with him all the way down. He was grabbing him on the way and then just made that big leap there.
Rick
to get called for interference.
Referee tonight. He got a lot of airtime. So they'll make it half the distance. And they are going to wind the clock. So then we are in a running clock situation with the score of 40-7. Cooper Birdie. Freshman quarterback. See if we can get
clock running down a little bit.
Oh, why not? Keeper, Birdie, far side, 10, touchdown.
Impressive run by Birdie, coming in off the bench in the second half. This has been all Cherokee, and that was a nice run up the sideline, untouched. And Cherokee running away with this thing. You see the fans, the students section all fired up tonight.
Wow, what a matchup on paper. 7-6 at halftime. Randy said it. Randy said it best, momentum. It's really difficult to wrestle momentum away from an opponent. And now Pagic is auditioning with his 7th extra point. Sorry, his 6th. It's good.
He's looked good tonight.
He has.
And so is Cherokee in this second half.
7:17 on the clock, 47-7 Cherokee.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for two, price for one. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I be like, sunset.
Welcome back to Cherokee. We are at William Foltz Stadium in Marlton, and the Chiefs have scored 41 consecutive points.
This is a tough one for Hammonton. Yeah, they played really well in the first half, made a lot of great stops on defense. Kenny Smith, they had that whole 94-yard touchdown drive. And Hammonton went into the locker room with a little momentum. Now it's just about trying to finish strong. Playing clean, not trying to do too much. Defense, offense, special teams. Hammonton's got to play their best ball the rest of this way to try and build on this. I mean, listen, this is a learning experience for them as well.
It is.
They've got to make adjustments for next week with Highland coming up.
Yep. Still on the road.
Yeah. And they have a lot of road games coming up through September. A home game, I think, in 2 or 3 weeks. The Hammonton's got to use this as a learning experience and learn to build on it. Figure out how to get better and how to execute.
It's still Pagic working on his short game, and that's fielded at the 26-yard line by Brennan Cobbs. So the clock is running. We're under 7 minutes to go, and there's the Hammonton sideline. Sometimes you just, Jim Razzo, what I've been learning about him, intense coach, and as methodic as he is, he's already thinking Highland, I'm sure.
Yeah,
it's time to, it's time to move on.
And they're not going to show anything too creative here in the final 6.5 minutes of the game here. They want to save something for Highland, but they still want to try and put some momentum together so that they can say, hey, you know what? We finished that Cherokee game strong. We did some things well, and we could build on it against Highland.
So Cobbs is now in at quarterback. Out to the 33. That's a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 as we're halfway through the 4th. Like Vin mentioned, next week, Highland. That's Mike Gill. I haven't talked to Mike if he's going to make it. That's a home game for me. That's probably a minute and a half from my house. Maybe 2.
I think Doug Stasek and I are the call for that.
Oh, you got it?
Hammonton next week.
The way I drive? No, it's at Highland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Highland.
Handoff up the middle, short of the first down.
They can play the football game in your neighborhood there.
Oh. Yeah, right. That's right. You were there Saturday.
I was there Saturday.
The first
nice
ever
little barbecue.
BFA Sports barbecue at our home.
The mesquite brisket, man.
Oh, my God, that was good.
That was good stuff.
It was good. It was funny. My wife didn't have a taste of it until everybody left. That's her.
Yeah, good food, good people.
That was great. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. BFA crew.
We forgot to pass the hat. We will next time. 5:05 on the clock. Cobbs keeps it and gets a first down. He's near midfield.
Obviously Hammonton, when they review the film of the game tomorrow morning, when they get together, you're going to want to look for things to learn from, certainly, off of what didn't go well, what you could build on for next week, what you have to correct, like right now before you get to Highland. But you also want to try to find those moments throughout the course of the game. I mean, certainly in the first half more than the second half, but you want to try to find things in the middle of all this for Hammonton to say, hey, you know what? That was a good block. That was a good run. That was a good tackle. You want to try to find a little bit of balance here in the middle of education.
Bring on Cobbs, keeps into Cherokee territory. He's to the 47. Clock continues to run. We're about 4 minutes to go.
I mean, after a game like this, and for those who don't know, I played high school football up at Toms River East. We had 4 good years. We finished 10-1
I would
my
think
senior year.
You played basketball more than you played football. You got some height.
I was more of a track athlete, but we did.
Okay.
We beat Washington Township in the first round of the playoffs and had a tough semifinal loss to Egg Harbor. But I'll tell you, I mean, there are just some losses where you can't wait to get, I mean, early on, as a freshman, sophomore, you want to get back in there. You want to correct them. You want to try to figure out how do we get better, because you don't like the taste of any loss.
Of course not.
But especially, a loss like this, you want to get back out there right away and figure out how to get that taste out of your mouth. And see, nothing cures the heartbreak and the bad taste of a loss than having a dynamite week of practice, things going well, big hits, big catches, coaches, praising the players in practice. And then once you get out there against Highland next Friday, you come out and you got to play your A game. You come out there against Highland next week and your offense is clicking, your defense is clicking, everything's grooving, and you put together a nice little lead, and getting a win, that erases some of the taste from tonight.
That was Frederick Weiss on the carry. Cobbs keeps right side. First down to the 36, but they will keep the clock going. We have 2:40 to go. And Hammonton will be 1-1, and Cherokee will be 2-0. And for Cherokee, they are in a division which is one of the best in the West Jersey Football League. They've got Lenape, Shawnee, St. Augustine Prep, Millville, Williamstown. So we'll be, I think, Cherokee comes to Williamstown, but I'll check.
Cherokee's been a good program for a long time coming out of South Jersey.
Weiss inside the 30-yard line.
That's a nice run right there. I mean, it's a good, especially on a first down, you get a good amount of yardage, get close to the second down. I think they'll be a couple yards short there. But something you can build on. You're like, hey, you know what? Hole opened up here.
Yeah.
Try Hammonton at this point. You got to finish strong. You got to figure out how to put some things together and to build on it.
Got to go to work.
Walk away. Yeah, exactly.
Got to go to work.
Work for next week starts after the game ends tonight.
See what's up. Cobbs weaving his way, getting the corner, gets a great block, and springs into the end zone. It's a Hammonton touchdown. Breon Cobbs. Is there a flag down?
Yeah, flag thrown near the 12-yard line.
Then that's the clock is, well, that's a blindside block then if they have that. I don't know if that was blindside. Do we have that again, David? Here it comes again. Take a look. Top of the screen. And they're trying to take this out of the game. Right. Oh, no, he saw it coming. That's not a, no. Oh, he grabbed his face mask. This could be on Cherokee. No, it's on Hammonton.
Democrat.
Oh.
Personal foul. They're calling a blindside block. That's not a good call. Because a blindside block usually is when you don't see the block coming.
Right.
David, can we rack that up again, please? If you look at this, you'll see that he's facing the block. And then after he absorbed the block, he grabbed his face mask.
Yeah.
So that's something that you... Here he goes. Watch this. You tell me, folks. Well, we got it? Here we go. You tell me.
Nope.
You tell me. Here we go. Right here. Right here. Are you kidding? And he grabbed his face mask.
Yeah. Got the face mask of a Hammonton player.
Yeah. Now it's back at the 30, and Cobbs is running for his life. And he's dropped at the 30.
Yeah, swallowed up there at the 30. It was a little slow to get up there. He was hit pretty hard. He's going to take the play off.
With 37 seconds left, and it looks like a third down, and they're going to call it 3. They don't have to get this play off if they choose not to. With the clock at 28 seconds left.
I mean, definition of tale of two halves here.
Oh, my God.
7-6 Hammonton at halftime.
Yep.
And we're looking at a 47-7 final here.
Yep.
I mean, adjustments at halftime. I mean, those locker room conversations at halftime, they're quick, but they're impactful if you get everything in. The offense, the defense, special teams, and Cherokee checked all the boxes at halftime, and that's why they came out strong.
The Blue Devils came into this game riding high, had a great first half, shut down Cherokee's offense, had a 7-6 lead at halftime, and then it all fell apart in the second half. Our final score, Cherokee 47, Hammonton 7. Tonight's game was produced by David Virgilio. Just unbelievable. I'm at a loss. I am totally at a loss.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
This is a hard one to come back from.
That's it. I tell you what, I need to take that Prevagen. I'm sorry. I see the guy like twice a week now. Tonight's game was directed by Jarek Garcia. On camera, we had Charles Hope, we had Nick Penza, we have Hollywood John Tucker. The executive producers of BFA Sports are Bob Hadak, Doug Stasic, and Jim G. Vin Ebenu, I'm Chris Losey. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back for Hammonton football next week. You'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be on the call with Doug. I'll be, and then you
at Highland,
Williamstown.
Tomorrow night, we will be at Kingsway for Williamstown and the Dragons. Till then, have a good night and have a great Labor Day weekend. Good night, everybody.